Well, welcome to the haunting story of the white worm. Well, should have been haunting Lair of the white worm because the idea behind this story is really an interesting one. It's a story written by Bram Stoker in 1911, and it's about the white worm. Well, it's more a dragon-like worm, but he lives deep underground. There is, of course, our hero, and he is from Australia. There is a love interest. There are two old men, and there is a mysterious lady. And somehow, for reasons that become obvious when you read this book, these mongooses do not like this lady. So maybe you can guess why that is. I never heard of mongooses, so I didn't know, but I did find out. This is a bit of a boring book. I must admit, I do enjoy Bram Stoker, but it's boring most of the time. They say show don't tell. Well, Bram Stoker tells and does not show. There's a lot of talk going on, and that makes it a bit boring. Is the whole book boring? No, because I did like the idea of a man. One of the old men is becoming a bit of a madman, and he has a kite which controls birds. And when the kite is down, the birds start to attack people and buildings and such, which I think is a really neat idea. And I think more people thought of this idea to be a brilliant one. One of them was Daphne du Maurier, and she wrote the famous novel The Birds. If you haven't heard of her book, you must have heard of the film adaptation The Birds. Yes, the one that was filmed by and directed by Alfred Hitchcock. So that was really an entertaining story. But in this book, it's not really explained why this happens. Yes, there is a mysterious chest, and the kite has something to do with it, but it's not really explained, and it's not explained why at the end of the story the birds aren't a problem anymore. So that's really a pity. Then there is another scene in this book. There's a fighting scene, the only fighting scene in this book, which is really very well written. So that makes it worth this book, all the boring bits included. So that were the positive things of this book. As I said, Lair of the White Worm was written in 1911, and I must give a content warning because there are some things in it that may cause offense. As you may well know, 1911 was the time when there was the Great British Empire, and Great Britain had a lot of colonies everywhere around the world. And Bram Stoker was Irish, and Irish was part of Great Britain back then. And there is in this book a man, a servant, who is from African descent, and he is looked down upon by all the other characters, including the hero in this book. So there's that. Then I have to give another content, well, not another content warning, but another sort of warning, a less serious one, and that involves this edition of Lair of the White Worm by Bram Stoker. It says, illustrated on the cover, if you see this book, do not buy it, because not only the layout is terrible, the illustrations are the size of a postage stamp. It's really, you're misled by the person who sells this book. It's not expensive, but it's really, see if I can find an illustration. Well, this is what it looks like. So it's really, for me, unreadable. And this goes into one of those free libraries to find someone who doesn't mind it. So I didn't want to end this video on a sad note or a minor note. Nettie from Digging Books, you should check her channel out, it's really fun, said that there was a film based on this book, and I saw it. It was by Ken Russell. I do like Ken Russell as a director, as he doesn't take himself too seriously. And it was with a very young Hugh Grant and a very young Peter Capaldi. And I think Amanda Donoghue, not sure if it was her, but the dialogues are funny. It's not comedy, it's really horror, but the dialogues were funny. The special effects, although they were a bit campy, they were such fun. I enjoyed myself tremendously with this film. There is a channel, YouTube channel, that is called Why the Book Wins. Well, you should check her channel out because it's really an interesting channel. And this is why the film wins, in this case anyway. So, hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.